Hello, let's talk about Bloodborne problems. Oh yeah, for the separate type of very smart people who sometimes don't remember how to breathe properly, I want to say one important thing. This game is not bad, but it just has some problems outside of 30 FPS. Okay, let's start with Chalice in this game. I absolutely hate every single aspect of these Chalices. First of all, they are nearly identical. While I was running around in this Chalice, I always had a question. Wait a second. I already cleared this Chalice, no? Secondly, you need to clear this Chalice. No matter how hard people claim that this corner is optional, you need to clear these nearly identical Chalices in order to get good stones for weapons. In main game, you won't find decent stones for weapons, and without these stones, even with so clever, you will do pretty shitty amount of damage. So want it or no, you have to clear these Chalices. Third, bosses in these Chalices are just mwah. You will kill the same basic mobs with HP bar or same Chalice bosses over and over and over and over and over and over. I will name you a few bosses and how many times you can kill them. Pig at least 5 times, Brainsucker at least 4 times, this Pyromancer 5 times, Pyromancer Dog 4 times, 3 Fat Musketeers 4 times, this stupid giant at least 3 times each type of them, and my absolutely favorite boss, this stupid fire dog will absolutely retire hitboxes and just unjustifiable damage with his charge hit that can just one-shot you from full HP at least 6 times. And not only them, here you will find another Celestials, another Bloodsucker, another Ebrietas, another Amygdala, and my absolute favorite, another Pearl. Are the last 4 supposed to be, well, I don't know, unique bosses, both lore and gameplay wise? And finally, balance in this Chalice are absolutely broken. In early game, when you visit first Chalice, everything will scream that yes, it's early game Chalice, because basic mobs drop you small amount of souls, and they do plus minus reasonable amount of damage. But when you enter in Undead Giant's boss arena, you will realize that he can just one-shot you, like straight up one-shot you. I nearly dropped these Chalices so many times because not only they are identical, not only they are absolutely boring and unbalanced, you need to farm some random stuff in order to access deeper level of Chalices. I really wanted to fight Yarnam's queen, but after fighting bigger version of Pearl, I just said fuck this dumb shit, because I was done fighting both him and his camera while barely doing any damage to him, while he could just vanish me with each of his touch. Now let's talk about healing mechanic in this game. In Bloodborne, you don't have S2s. In order to heal yourself, just like in Demon Souls, you need to buy or farm heals. And I know that many people defend this healing system with the most random bullshit arguments, but I don't like this healing system at all. First of all, if this is your first Souls game, in early game you not only have to try hard against an army of homeless basic mobs, but also when you die, for example against Father Gascoigne, you have to spend a solid amount of time on farming heals, and this is not cool at all. And the funniest thing is that in mid-late game, you have so much healing that you don't even know where you should use them. But in early game, you spend way too much time and resources on heals, which is pretty dumb in my opinion. And also, after clearing a location in which you can farm a solid amount of heals, you can't just quickly teleport to a lamp and clear this location once again. No, you have to teleport in Hunter's Dream, and only then teleport to a lamp which you needed, and this can be a bit annoying, especially in early game. Now the most debatable part of my video, weapons. To be honest, I am not really a fan of Bloodborne weapons. Yeah, they all have completely different movesets from each other, and also each weapon is realistically saying two completely different weapons, which is very cool, and I won't deny that, but there is one problem. I tested many weapons, and to be honest with you, in this game there are only two truly good weapons, Saw Cleaver and Pizza Cutter. There is not even a single reason to prefer, for example, Ludwig, that does, for example, 400 damage per hit, and each swing is pretty slow, while, for example, Saw Cleaver does, for example, 350 damage, while it has insane speed, insane DPS, and a huge stagger potential, especially if you have beast pellets. Again, I have not tested all weapons and I can be wrong, but among all weapons that I tested, most of them were just not worthy. Also, there is one big problem about weapons. In this game, it's very easy to grind or buy bloodstones and twin bloodstones, but holy fuck, if you play offline, you have to grind so hard in order to get bloody chunks. Holy shit, it's not even funny. Now let's talk about story and plot of this game. You have to really try hard in order to even understand what's going on. This game has dead exposition. In this game, in order to even understand the plot of this game without YouTube, you have to read item description of every single item. And no, it's not just like in Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, by reading item description, you learned about the lore of this game. In the first and third Dark Souls games, there is a cutscene that explains perfectly what is going on and what is your job. While in Dark Souls 2, yeah, the situation is similar to Bloodborne, but in Dark Souls 2, as soon as you reach Drangleic Castle, the very first NPC, which is impossible to miss, on your fingertips explain the plot of this game to you. Yes, in Bloodborne there is German, who tries to explain what is happening around, but he does it pretty shitty compared to the dude in Drangleic Castle. I just don't understand, is this really that hard to make an opening cinematic about Lawrence, who found Ebrietas in Chalice? He somehow captured her. After experiencing all her blood, he found a cure from all sickness, but after a while all people who consumed holy blood mutated, and because of that the hunt is going. What would this game lost if they made a cutscene like that? Also, let's talk about two very popular myths about Bloodborne lore and story. First one is that many people say that this game has a super duper deep message, and I always laugh when someone says something like that. Let me tell you main message in Dark Souls games first, and then about main message in Bloodborne. Dark Souls 1 was about the mercenaries of time. In Dark Souls 1, no matter who or what you are, be it almighty god or just a random dude, ancient dragon or a powerful city of the gods, in the end time will consume you and destroy you, and there is nothing you can do about that. Dark Souls 2 was about slowly realizing that no matter how hard you try, and no matter what you will do, sometimes it just isn't enough to achieve your goal, and in the end you can fail miserably. Not because you aren't trying your best, but because you simply were unlucky, or because you just couldn't do anything. Dark Souls 3 was about opening your eyes. The game tells us, even if everything tells you that right is the right path, you should always ask, but is it right, or is it a right path for me? Meanwhile, main message in Bloodborne.
Can't you see that humans are the real monsters?
No, I'm not joking, I swear. It's just that simple. It's not bad, but also it's not that deep, let's be honest. People very overrate the main message of Bloodborne. Now myth number 2. Many people say Dark Souls is just a bad dream, while Bloodborne is a nightmare. And I will say one thing. The fate of Yarna was the most cruel and most fucked up thing that happened in Bloodborne universe. While for Dark Souls universe, the fate of Yarnam is just a regular Monday. No, really. All you need to do in order to get happy ending in Bloodborne is just to take your cloth and
run, bitch! Run!
While in Dark Souls universe, if you are born, no matter who you are, you will suffer and there is nothing you can do about that. Now locations. Locations, in my subjective opinion of course, are just bad. In Dark Souls game, every single location looked completely different from each other, and because of that, most of these locations were very memorable. But in Bloodborne, the only memorable locations are Fishing Hamlet, this location, Forest, Kenhurst, and Old Yarnam. No, really, almost all of them look very similar to each other, or are very unmemorable. Yes, it's still better than Sekiro, in which there is only one, well okay, two memorable locations, but still that's not really cool by From Software standards. Also, many people call Dark Souls 3 locations a grey screen simulation. And yes, but sorry. What is Bloodborne's locations other than black screen simulation? Now let's talk about bosses. Oof, bosses in this game are just very bad no matter how you look at it. Yes, there are without a doubt some amazing bosses such as Maria and German, and a few good bosses such as Orphan, Cleric Beast, Amelia and Logarius. And maybe, just maybe, if you desperately want to add someone else, Father Gascoigne. Other bosses both difficulty and quality wise are so bad it's not even funny. Let's talk about a few of them quickly. Witches. Is there even a single person who enjoyed this boss or had the smallest problem with this boss? Shadows. Your average Elden Ring bosses, aka multiple basic mobs with HP bar is a boss. Same thing can be said about Celestials. Rom. You either have a good weapon with high DPS and kill Rom as fast as possible, or Rom will either one-shot you with her magic, or her small spiders will just gangbang you. Bloodsucker. Either you have antidote and fire resin, or you are fucked. I would honestly remove or at least nerf his poison damage, but also I would completely remove bloody cocktails which you can throw on a wall and just cheese his entire boss fight. And also, let's be honest, this cocktail's entire purpose in this game is to use this on this boss. That's it. Living feathers are living dildos, and both their names fit their boss fight perfectly. Both Pal and One Reborn are just hit their legs over and over and stun lock them to death without them being able to do anything about that. And if they survive for more than 50 seconds, it's a huge miracle. If you won't stay AFK and push Moon Presence and Mergo, you can just turn off their brain and they will just stay still while you just mash R1 button on them. Ebrietas can go fuck herself with her 3 insta-give moves. First one is her laser beam, second one is her head slam, and the third one is her charge hit. Each of these moves can just literally one-shot you. Amygdala is extremely one-sided hardcore sex with camera. Ludwig is a 100% joke boss. If you have cleaver and beast pellets, holy fuck, what you can do to this poor horse. Oh my god, it's not even funny. Lawrence can go fuck himself. Yeah, he's hard, but dear god, he's such a shitty boss. Oh my god. Mikolash.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
So yeah, realistically saying, after Elden Ring, this game has the biggest amount of uninteresting or just super easy and pathetic bosses, and I find it really funny that people non-stop scream about Dark Souls 2 bosses being a joke, which is undeniable, but at the same time they completely ignore these punching bag bosses against whom I honestly say 2 things over and over. Oh shit, he died, or wait, is that it? Is this a joke? How is it over so fast? Am I over level? Or do I have OP runes? Well, sorry if I have OP runes, but in order to get my runes, I had to whoop my own ass in Chalice in order to get them. Now small details that I don't like in this game. Camera angle in this boss fight. Dear god, how annoying is camera in this game during boss fights. Oh my god, it's not even funny. If you don't understand what I mean, play this game and look on bosses like Evrietas, Amygdala, all 3 Cleric Beasts or Parl, especially the one in Chalice. Why all clothes in this game either look like cool looking Hunter's Drip or a random homeless cloth? Why are they so identical to each other? Am I the only one who doesn't like Bloodborne bosses design wise? They all are either big dogs, tall humans, or some disgusting aliens. Yeah, I know that nearly half of Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3 bosses are some dudes in armor, aka just a regular knights, but all those knights visually are very memorable, while most Bloodborne bosses design wise is just weak points. I know many people praise weak points, but I completely disagree with this opinion. In my opinion, weak points just remove any difficulty in these fights. The best example of this is probably Parl. If you hit his legs over and over, he won't be even able to stand up and move, and you can do similar thing to pretty much all bosses, especially to beast type enemies. And that's pretty much it. Also, I want to say 2 important things to people who spam get good or skill issue. First, I rank this game as the second easiest game among all Soulsborne games, and secondly,
Suck
the grease out of my gooch, you stream sniping insects. Go back to the sewers and suck down the turds from whence you were born, you worthless piles of fecal dandruff. Fuck you!
Once again, Bloodborne is not a bad game, but I am just so done with YouTube videos or a post in which people are only capable of non-stop bitching about 30 FPS when it comes to Bloodborne problems. Like, grow some balls already and stop being afraid of Souls community. Say things how they are without trying to lick everyone's feet. Well, that's pretty much it. Type what you think about my video. With this, I will say bye bye to you and I will see you next time.